Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching from. Welcome back to KO Talks. As always, your host, the blackest lady in Africa, Kezia Unsarigo. We are going to start our topic today in a few seconds to come. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The topic of today that we're discussing is about hope, and we will learn 4 main points why we should not lose hope in our lives. Most people feel discouraged when they make failures in their lives and they stop trying. Life sometimes it can be really that difficult, and we need that little hope to keep us moving in our lives. So we are having 4 main points on why we should not lose hope in our lives. And the first point we are going to discuss today, failure is normal. That's point number 1. Failure is normal. It's normal to fail, and unless you have not gone through failure, then you will not understand the value of success. Failure, when we meet the failures in our lives, they are the ones that are making us strong to move on. We learn through our mistakes. Nobody's born to be perfect. We have some weaknesses in our lives. At some point we get to fail, and we need that to move on. We need that hope to move on. It doesn't matter the failure that we have faced in our lives, we still have the hope to move on. So it's part and parcel of our lives to fail, and it's normal. When you fail, you stand up from there and you keep on moving. And I will give a short example on failure. I will give an example of a small baby. When a baby wants to walk, the baby will not stand up and start walking and start running. The baby will stand, take one or two steps, then he or she will fall down and rise up from there and take other 5 steps, fall down, rise up again, fall down, until he's that stable to walk and to run and to do all the other activities like other babies do. So let's learn from them. Whenever that they fail, whenever they are walking, they don't stop trying. They keep on trying until they are perfect in that. Let's also learn that in our lives. No matter how no matter how we feel like we are so down, every time you have tried, you fail, you try, you fail, don't lose that hope. Keep sticking on it, and after sometimes you are going to face the fruits of it. Second thing I want us to learn today, it's nothing is impossible. Yeah, nothing is impossible. And they say everything is not possible, but nothing is impossible. In order to succeed in our life, we need to face some challenges. Like the first point that you have said, we need to face the failures. And when we tend to learn about the life of successful self-made people, you might find like their life was not so smooth. They passed some challenges. We can talk about few celebrities. That is Churchill, who is the name is Dan Ndampuki. We can talk about Esther Akoth. She's famously known as Akode or Madam Boss. If you tend to listen to their stories before, it wasn't so easy for them to be where they are. They started, they failed, they moved on. And when you go to international celebrities, we have Steve Harvey, we have, you can name them, we have so many of them. They didn't like wake up and found themselves wherever they are. They passed through a lot of challenges in their lives and they kept on moving. So nothing is impossible. despite them starting from a very humble ground, now they're like our role model. We are there like we need to be like them. So there's nothing impossible in our lives. Even if you fail, even if you feel like you have reached the end of it, that is not the end. Nothing and nothing is impossible in life. Our third point today that we are going to discuss is problems are part of life. Problems are part of life. I know some of you are wondering, like, this lady today, this is the reality. Problems are part of life. Actually, it's impossible to remove them in our lives in some way or the other. We will meet them in our lives. We don't run away from problems. We need that hope to sit and face them so that we can have a bright life. If you want to live your life to the best, to the fullest, you have to have the problems in your lives. And actually, they're part of life. We can use a very short example of a tree. A tree, when it's growing, sometimes it's bent by wind, but it still keeps on moving. And whenever it grows and the fruits are there, actually, that's what we do. Wherever you see there's a fruit on a tree, you want to take a stone, you throw to that tree. And whenever you're throwing a stone to the tree, sometimes we have some leaves that fall down. We have some immature fruits that are going to fall, but at the end of it, you're going to get the fruit that you wanted, the ripe fruit that you wanted. And also, when you're harvesting your fruits, maybe in your farm garden, you don't just like sit and get the fruits from there. There's some challenges that you are passing through. You might go, maybe that day you wake up in the morning and it's a very rainy day, you have to go there and pick them. You have the places muddy, sometimes it's slippery. So in one way or the other, we have those problems in our lives. We don't run away from them. We need to look for ways and means to face them with that bravery in our hearts so that we can be successful and we can live our life to the fullest. Our last point I want us to discuss today on why we should not lose hope. We have number 5, problems will eventually be solved. Problems will be solved. So point number 3 is telling us that problem is part of life. Yeah, problem is part of life. You have to face it. You have to face the problems. But number 4, it's telling us that problems will be solved. And wherever that you're having a problem in your life, it will be solved. And no matter how long it will take, there is always light after the tunnel. There's always light beyond the tunnel. No matter what the darkest side you are, the problem that you have will be solved. And the short example I will use, it's about a Chinese bamboo. Chinese bamboo, actually, I think it takes the longest time to grow. It takes 5 years. Yeah, you heard me clear. It takes 5 good years for it to break through the ground. So try to imagine you have 5 years, and these 5 years we have seasons, that we have winter, we have summertime, we have autumn. So at some point when it's summertime, you have to keep on watering the ground for the plant to grow, and it takes 5 years to break through the ground. So for 5 years it's just underground, and all this time you have to continue watering the garden. You have to continue putting your fertilizers on the ground. You have to continue the place where you have planted, where the bamboo is planted, it's watered, it's added fertilizer for 5 years. Then what I like most about this, when it breaks off the ground, oh my God, when it breaks off the ground, it grows to a height of 90 feet in 5 weeks. How nice. 90 feet in 5 weeks. So at long last, when it's growing, it's worthy the wait. The results are worthy the wait. You have been watering your projects, you have been funding your projects, you have been fertilizing your projects, but still they are not yet successful. They have not yet stabilized. Still you are having that little turmoil here and there. Learn your lesson from a Chinese bamboo. It takes 5 years to break from the ground, and you have just done it for 2 years or 3 years, and you're like, no, I'm not doing this. Keep that faith, keep that hope. It's not yet time to lose it, actually. And when you have the fruits, it will be worthy the wait. Try to imagine you wait for 5 years for a bamboo, 5 good years for a bamboo to just break through the ground. But once it breaks through the ground, it takes 5 weeks to grow 90 feet tall. Just those are the blessings that God is keeping for you. You are facing the challenges. First, you have failed, and you have just kept that hope. You're moving on. You have that mentality in you, like nothing is impossible. You have that hope, nothing is impossible. You have that hope, like problems are part and parcel of life. I need to face them. I need to move on. And later on, now your problems are being solved, no matter how long it takes. Let's get a very nice message from the bamboo. No matter how long it takes, the results will be worthy the wait. And thank you so much for staying to me up to this end. If it's your first time watching here, please take that step, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you may be notified anytime the video being uploaded here. Thank you so much. Our parting shot today: your future needs you and not your past. Your future needs you and not your past. Thank you so much. Until next week, stay blessed. Keep the peace always. Thank you.